Good evening, Western Slope. Thank you so much for tuning in to Fox 4 News at 6:30. I'm Shelby Bracho. A Salt Lake City courtroom draws a quiet crowd Friday for the man at the center of an international smuggling case. Good evening. Thank you so much for watching Fox 4 News at 6:30. I'm Shelby Bracho here live at Supplesio Field. We'll be doing our whole broadcast here tonight. Let's start off with an update on a court case. No war for now. President Trump is weighing his response to Iran's latest attack, but making no further military moves for the moment. Health insurance premiums are advertised to be dropping significantly for anyone purchasing health care plans on the individual market. As Chris was just saying, fire crews are working to contain a blaze in Palisade this evening. We have a shot there. Wow, look at that. Look, those are some big flames. Early information indicates the fire may have been caused by fireworks following this evening's festivities at the Peach Festival, although many of these details are still unconfirmed. Like I said, we have Logan Wilbur at the scene who will have more information as it becomes available. It's something most of us learn at an early age. Call 911 in case of emergency. Now, the federal government would like to do more to recognize the value in that by changing the status of those who answer that 911 call. The Mesa County Sheriff's Office says 19-year-old Andrew Arms of Grand Junction barricaded himself inside the residence and refused to come out. And now switching to my favorite topic, which is food, we're giving you a sneak peek into our new web-exclusive series called The Dish. Changes to Colorado's oil and gas regulations are making their way into law. An overnight robbery attempt has members of the Mesa County Sheriff's Office searching for a suspect deemed armed and dangerous. Colorado Mesa University has been back in session for about a month now, and local businesses near campus are enjoying an increase in traffic. I spoke with organizers of a Grand Valley event that highlights local musicians and donates to local charity. What could be better than that? You won't want to miss it. It's right after the break. But first, let's take a look at your stuff. How does District 51 pay for a new Grand Junction High School? Earlier this week, we took a look at what went wrong with the Bond 4A election campaign. Now, had 4A passed on Election Day, a new Grand Junction High School campus would have been built at a cost of more than $120 million. But taxpayers said no to that cost. Well, good evening and thank you for choosing KREX5 News on this chilly night. I'm Shelby Bracho. Logan Wilbur has the night off. The 29 Road Bridge is back open after being closed for a couple of hours by law enforcement due to icy conditions and multiple crashes. The Grand Junction Police Department says at least 2 non-injury crashes occurred before the bridge was temporarily closed. City Streets and Mesa County Road and Bridge treated both north and southbound lanes to make them less slick. The police department says the two entities are working together to treat slick spots throughout the city and county. And city officials have been working all day to make sure drivers stay safe through the night and into the morning. KREX5's Adrian Thomas is standing by live on 5th Street with more. Adrian, how's that weather treating you? Thank you, Adrian. Stay warm out there. Weather conditions also forcing the cancellation of an event here in Mesa County this evening. The City of Grand Junction's Community Values and Vision Workshop was originally scheduled for 5:30 earlier this evening at Two Rivers Convention Center, but due to weather conditions impacting the travel of the city's consultants, the workshop was canceled and will be rescheduled for a later date. But officials say the Sub-Areas Plans Workshop, which explores local improvement and development scenarios, is still scheduled for tomorrow evening at 5:30 at the Lincoln Park Barn. While temperatures this Halloween may not be in your favor, we still want you to have fun, be safe, and be comfortable that evening, which means you may need to adjust your trick-or-treat plans and even your wardrobe. We have 2 days until trick-or-treat activities kick off, and during that time, we'll see record low temperatures here in the Grand Valley. We can expect extremely cold conditions for the first half of Halloween Day, with temperatures dipping into the teens and possibly even single digits. Luckily, evening temperatures should warm up a bit, settling somewhere in the 30s. Now, I don't know about you, but 30s is still pretty chilly. So we spoke to the owner of a local costume shop, which has been in the business for 20 years, and he shares some of his best tips for surviving the holiday and staying warm. And the KREX5 Storm Team also suggests trick-or-treating from a vehicle, or at least having a vehicle close by. This will allow kids to warm up a bit as they gather the goods. And speaking of our storm team, let's go ahead and bring in our chief meteorologist, Chris Nation. Chris, we've got our Halloween plans ready, but let's talk about this cold front that's smacking us around right now.
Yeah, so here's the thing, a bad idea.
Those color-coded maps, Chris, really show just how cold it's going to get around here.
Oh, yeah, they do.
All right, well, thank you. We'll come back to Chris when he has full weather later on in the broadcast. As Chris just explained, temperatures are plummeting here in the Grand Valley, and as we prepare for the weather, it's important not to forget about our pets. KREX5's Jillian McCarthy looked into what pet owners need to know about keeping animals safe in freezing temperatures. Over at the Mesa County Justice Center, a jury has been picked and the trial of David Castro for the murder of Kyle Free is underway. Including the alternates, the case will be decided by 11 women and 4 men after nearly 2 days of jury questioning. Both sides gave their opening statements and both sides had a very different focus. The prosecution starts by emphasizing this trial is not about David Castro, but instead about Kyle Free. The defense kept it simple, holding the position that David Castro did not hide any evidence, did not help with the body, and did not clean up the scene, and did not encourage the murder. The first witness called by the prosecution was Kyle Free's brother, who initially reported Kyle missing. He provided brief testimony, mostly going through his initial search for his brother, including going to Rebecca Walker's house to look for Kyle. Next up was the investigator on this case, detailing his interviews with Rebecca Walker, including the map she drew to show where they could find blood evidence in her garage. Walker gave over a cell phone to investigators that had photos showing an outline of Kyle Free's body made with arts and crafts beads, as well as a makeshift absorption technique using sandwich bread to clean up chemicals when she tried to cover up the murder. And in other courtroom news, 2 men suspected of being a part of a large-scale drug trafficking ring in Mesa County were set to enter their pleas today. One case giving the judge frustration, and the second reaching an agreement after 7 months. Like many of the cases in this drug bust, Armando Bandomo's defense asked for more time, even proposing a 2020 return date. The judge would not agree to this request, saying he does not understand why this case is taking 7 months to reach an agreement. The defense did say they've been offered agreements, but the potential consequence of deportation is giving them pause. Armando Bandomo Hernandez has reached an agreement with the DA's office, but his defense needs time for the paperwork. An investigation into a cannabis grow operation across Mesa County culminated in the arrests of Bandomo and Hernandez Bandomo, along with at least 7 others. When the raids were completed, law enforcement seized over 1,000 cannabis plants with a total cut-down weight of nearly 4,000 pounds. This cannabis was intended to be made into hash at the suspected drug ring's extraction lab. Bandomo will be back in court on December 10th, and Hernandez Bandomo will be back to enter his plea to the judge on November 25th. Federal officials say a deadly Colorado house explosion in 2017 happened after lines owned by an energy company were cut during the home's construction. Investigators with the NTSB say authorities in Weld County approved neighborhood construction on land adjacent to or once part of energy production. But the approval lacked documentation of line locations related to the well in Firestone. The report finds that 3 lines near the home were not properly abandoned by the former owner, Patina Oil and Gas Corporation. The blast killed 2 people and injured a 3rd. Afterwards, the state began requiring inspections of underground flow lines near occupied buildings. And it's that time of the night. Anyone who entered to win a $50 gas card, we now have tonight's winner. Congratulations to Darlene Billarde. You have won a $50 gas card. You have until the end of the newscast to claim your card by calling 242-5000. You have 2 weeks to pick up the card, and if you'd like a chance to win your very own $50 gas card, you can simply enter by heading on over to westernslope.now.com or just pop into Ed Bozarth, Mark Miller, Chevrolet Buick. Congrats, Darlene. Still to come on KREX5 News at 10. Chris Nation will have your full weather report. You don't want to miss it. Plus, we've got an update on the Kincaid fire in Northern California. We'll be right back. The latest on the over 76,000-acre Kincaid fire in Northern California's wine country. Fire crews were able to maintain a 15% containment Tuesday as they braced for a return of 50-mile-per-hour red flag warning wind gusts. As Juliet Goodrich reports, crews took advantage of calmer conditions while area hotspots proved to be a problem. We do. Chris, it feels like it was summer last week, and now I'm wondering how many kids out there are just telling their parents, you know, it's good.
Yeah, my son was like,
we'll
I don't care. We're going. That was his attitude.
Yeah.
All right.
Tune into our morning show for the latest updates. We'll see you tomorrow.